Hi friends, I hope you all are doing great. It's me, Nikki here, and today I want to share with you 10 reasons why you may not be motivated in your home and what to do about it. So let's jump right in. So friends, do you hear those words, just get started or declutter your life? It's all over the internet. I'm guilty of kind of challenging you with those words, but you hear it, but it doesn't resonate with you. It does not get you moving. And you have this lack of motivation in your home, and there's reasons why. And I think it's important for us to talk about the reasons so that you can see if any of these resonate with you, so that we can also talk about a solution so that we can get you motivated in your home. Why? Because your home is that space in your life that is supposed to be the one that rejuvenates you. When you go out into this world and you come home, you are supposed to be recharged by your home, by your family, by your home life. And if that is not the case, then it's time to make a change, because there's so many benefits with having a home that can recharge and rejuvenate you. It reduces your stress. It saves you time. It saves you money. It gives you a better quality of life. So let's jump into the 10 reasons, and then I also am going to share with you a solution for each one. So reason number one that you may not be motivated in your home is because you're overwhelmed and you don't know where to start. This is one of the main things that I get when I'm working with my clients. And for my new subscribers, I want to say welcome. I'm so glad you made it to the channel. I'm Nikki and founder of At Home With Nikki, and I love all things home organization, home decor, and I'm a professional organizer, and I love sharing ways to transform your home and work life. So if you're not subscribed, definitely click that subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of those platforms. So back to talking about not knowing where to start being one of those things that causes you to lose motivation. And what I find oftentimes is your mind is just overwhelmed with your home, because oftentimes when you have a space that is not a recharging, rejuvenation space for you, it's because it's the entire home or several spots in the home that are cluttered, that don't function well for you, that you don't have systems in place, and it just doesn't feel good, right? It just doesn't feel good. It doesn't bring you joy in your home. And you don't know where to start, right? You're like, it's the whole house. It's overwhelming. When you think about it, it's too much, right? And so you have to kind of hit that erase button in your home a little bit. And when you hit the erase button, you erase everything but one small space. You have to start small. If you look at your home and you think about trying to tackle the home or tackle a garage, it's overwhelming. But instead, tackle that one little space for a week straight, one little space, and build the momentum, build the motivation. Then you will see yourself starting to figure out where to start, and you're moving. And so what I often encourage folks to do is start like in a linen closet. And don't do the linen closet. That's a project. That's a big task. But do one shelf in that linen closet. Take everything off the shelf, build it back up, fold the towels back, sit it back up there, whatever things you're putting on the shelf, and then come back the next day and do the second shelf. If you have 5 shelves in the home, by the time you finish the week, by the weekend comes, the whole linen closet is beautifully organized. Wherever you start in your home, start small and hit the erase button for the rest of your home. Pretend like it's invisible until you're ready to tackle that particular space. So reason number 2 why you may not be motivated in your home is that you think it is a waste of time. Every day you come home, you walk into those shoes that are all over the floor. Every day you clean the kitchen and it comes back the next day and it's a mess. The paper clutter, you seem to throw it, get rid of it, and the next day it's back again. And so it starts to give you that mindset of, what am I doing? Why am I even caring? Why am I even doing this every day? I'm a hamster in a hamster wheel. And so you are not alone in that thought. So many of us, when we come into our homes and we're doing things, repetitiously, and it's not relaxing, it's stressful, which clutter brings stress. you start to get that mindset of this is just a waste of time, right? And then things tend to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But the solution to this is to really be a problem solver and to think about it in a different way. It's not necessarily that things are never going to change. It is, what am I going to do? What systems am I going to implement? What conversations am I going to have in my home? What commitment am I going to have in my home to create an environment that helps me flourish, that rejuvenates me? Because we have that control in our space, but we can't take on the mindset that it's pointless, it's useless. We got to take on the mindset of, what is it that I need to change? And we're going to talk about that a little later, because change is a whole other thing. But what do I need to change in my space, in how I work within my space, with how I communicate with my family, so that I can have a space where it makes me happy when I walk through the door and I don't feel like a hamster in a hamster wheel. So I say all that to say, the system that you are currently using in your home, if you feel like this is just never ending, is the system that is not working for you and your family. And I will say this, that as women, a lot of times, the reason why we feel like this is because we are taking on everything. And instead of creating a home life in which the home life is ran by the entire family, we feel like it's our responsibility to run, to do, to manage everything. And when we sometimes implement systems, we're implementing them on how we think they should work for our family, and not necessarily how our family works. And what that does is that just frustrates you more, it frustrates the family more, and it doesn't solve the problem. So the solution is communication with your family to create systems that work, and changing that mindset from, I need to change how I'm working in my home. Reason number 3 is you feel like you don't have the money to buy the new furniture or the organizers or the decor that you want to beautify and organize your space. And a lot of times this can be an excuse to get out of organizing your space. Having the mindset that you need to bring more stuff in before you deal with the current stuff can be a way to just procrastinate with doing the real work. The real work in our home is getting rid of everything in that space that is taking up real estate in our home that does not serve a purpose, does not bring us joy, and just simply does not need to be there. The only purpose that it has right now is it's overwhelming us, and it's causing us to think we need to go out into Home Goods and buy all these other things to just pile on to try to make clutter beautiful, instead of really addressing the true issue. The true issue is, we need to take time to get this stuff away from us, and then we need to reevaluate what we have and work with what we have first. And then if there is that thing, or if there is that new sofa or something that you want, then of course, then it's the time, if you're ready, to jump on that. But the first thing is, you want to have a beautiful space which is organized and clean. That's what beautiful means to me, organized and clean. A beautiful space before making those financial decisions on bringing the other stuff in. The other thing that goes with that is, once you even declutter your space and you feel like, my space is clean, it's decluttered, but I want it to be beautiful. I want that beautiful table and chair and all of those things. But there's so many options now. There's so many options if you can't afford to go into Pottery Barn and buy those things. There's so many places you can create dupes by going thrifting, or so many affordable shopping places to create the look that you desire. And so, the beautiful thing about the day and age we live in now is we have those options. We have Facebook Marketplace. We have so many DIY things that we can do. You guys remember, in my home, we created in our home a home that was special to us by doing our DIY projects, because Mike and I always found that when we did it ourselves, we truly got what we wanted. We saved money, right? Because we didn't have to hire somebody to come in and do a lot of these things. The resources to do the things are most times online. There's so many tutorials and how-tos that you can work your way through different projects. So I think that, just not being afraid to try things in your home to save money and to really make a space that's beautiful for you, but also make sure that you are doing things in order. First, get your home in order, your systems and your organization, and then beautifying that bringing that stuff in or changing out that furniture is always on that back end. Reason number 4 why you may not be motivated to organize is because you feel like you don't have enough storage space. This is also another issue that comes up a lot with clients. And the reason why is because, again, I keep going back to you have to remove those things out of your view, out of your home that are kind of clouding what you're actually seeing. Because you can open a drawer in your bedroom and you can see that you don't have any room for any more socks. But have you taken out all the socks that you don't wear, all the socks that don't match? And then have you organized the socks in a way where you can easily see what you need to grab each day? Are they organized by color so that you can easily see that you have 20 white socks when you only need 10? You know, doing that important work really will be an eye-opener to the reality of how much space that you have in your home, right? So a lot of times I see where we make assumptions in our home. We assume that we don't have space, but we really haven't dug in a little deeper. You know, for example, someone had mentioned to me before in their kitchen, you know, I just don't have any drawer space, so I can't do my utensils. I don't have any drawer space. My mind initially went, yeah, you do have drawer space. You know, grab a narrow rectangular basket, organize your utensils in there beautifully, sit it on your cabinet in your shelf, and that is your utility drawer. Is it a traditional drawer that you pull out? Absolutely no. Do you get the same function as a drawer? Absolutely. But you have to think a little bit out the side of the box to say, hey, I don't have this traditional thing, but how can I create it? You know, sometimes we're like, I need a home office, but I don't have a room. I'm living out of a 2-bedroom home. I don't have room for an office. Well, what about a cart? Why not make an office cart? How about an office in a bag so that you can sit on your patio and work and have a better quality of work because you're getting the fresh air and you have all your beautiful office supplies right there at your hand? Or how about the guest bedroom that you only use once a year when your mom comes and visits? Why not make that the office and then transform it when they come back? So, you know, it's just thinking about what you need in your home and then creating those spaces. Using those vertical spaces. A lot of times I will see in clients' home, they may not have, you know, the space they're immediately their eyes going to, but they have so much vertical space and they have these closets. They have so much space that they could be using. And if they organize things in the right way, it really can function so beautifully for them. So once you clear out all of the things that you don't need in your home, that's going to free up any space or give you more real estate for your space. Reason number 5 is you feel like you're going to mess it all up and it's going to look worse than it did before you started. And one thing I want to say about this is your home is just that. It's your home. You have full rights to make it beautiful, to organize it the way you want to. They come out with all these different trends and things that are out of style and what's in style. And for me, those things, they don't impact me in my home. What I love is what I love. I don't care if I love it in 2019 and 2023. If I love it, I love it. And so that's the mindset that we have to have for our home because we are all so different. And the bottom line is when you come home, if it rejuvenates you, it brings you joy, it makes you happy, then it's the right thing, right? It's the right thing. And so there is no messing up, right? Because if you organize something and you don't like the way it looks or it doesn't feel right, you can change it, you can fix it. And how I like to encourage people who have a fear of kind of messing things up is to start small. I don't encourage you to go in and try to renovate your entire kitchen after watching a video and you've never done it before. You may not be, savvy with any hand tools. And so I don't encourage that. I encourage you to start small. Find that small little project that you want to try to tackle that you feel like you can do and handle it. It may not require any tools. It may be simply organizing a drawer. It may be simply decluttering a garage. It may be painting a room. And so just start small so that you can start connecting with improving, doing home improvements in your home. Don't jump on the big babies. Start with the small ones and build your way up as you grow into loving on your home, beautifying your home, and doing all of those DIY projects. Reason number 6 is that, you think to yourself, if this is too much work, I want to relax on my weekends. I do not want to spend the weekend doing laundry and cleaning the house. And I hear you, because I'm the same way. My weekends, I protect my weekends. That's my time that I want for myself. If I want to sit there and do nothing, that's what I want to do. And so I'm so on board with not, having those times. And my clients will all tell you, I stay on them about taking that time off, taking that downtime, and not getting so wrapped up into work, home, life that they don't take that time. And so we all are set on that, right? Do we all feel that way? We need our time, we need our me time, we need our weekends. So what you have to do is you have to create a system that works for keeping your house beautifully organized and maintained, but allows you to enjoy that house, enjoy that weekend, right? And so one tip or solution that I would love to share with you that really worked for me for years, especially when I worked outside of the home, is basically changing my work hours. So for example, if I got off at work at 4 o'clock, and just say I got home from work at 4 o'clock. I got off work at 3:30, get home by 4 o'clock. From 4 to 5, that was still on my work time. In my mind, I created this mindset that I don't get off from work till 5. So when I came home, I dropped my bags, but I did not stop. I kept going. I turned on Law and Order on the TV because I used to like hearing that in the background. And I did my things. I did my load of laundry. I vacuumed. I did my cleaning. I set dinner. All those tasks that we have to get done. I took that hour, which is a good chunk of time when you're just humping it, because I was still on my work time in my mind. And then it was done by 6 o'clock, by 5 o'clock, my evening was my evening. I could enjoy my husband. I could sit and relax. I was prepped for the next day. Dinner was done. The house was clean. And because this was a consistent mindset that I didn't get off work to 5 o'clock, that last hour of work was working at home, it really allowed me to keep a space that stayed put together, because I was investing that consistent hour every day, Monday through Friday, and it really just kept things simplified at home, and it allowed my home to be my rejuvenation space. So that's one thing a solution that I would encourage you to do is get the mindset of, even if you work from home, if you say I end my work time at home at 3:30, don't end it at 3:30, end it at 4:30, and that last hour is a prep hour for kind of getting your home ready, cleaning, and doing all of those things. It really is something that works so seamlessly for me. So if that is not something that you really want to do, you just have to really incorporate one thing, that consistency. Doing that 15-minute sweep at the end of the night, making sure you go through your home and you're picking up. You need that specific time every day that's consistent in doing something in your home to maintain it, so that you don't feel like when the weekend comes you have all this laundry, all these things to do. Also, if you tend to have a lot of laundry, one load a day keeps the laundry piles away. Make sure that you're putting in that one load of laundry every day, so by the time the weekend comes, you're good to go. So reason number 7 is you feel like it's that never-ending job. And I talked about this a little earlier, but again, we start feeling like our home is a job. And that's the mindset that I really, really, really don't want to have in my home. I don't want to feel like, I leave work and come to another job, or that home is a job. It is that place that is my place. It is your place that is yours, your special place. And you don't want it to be a chore to you or a job to you. So that's why it's important to have these systems, and systems, when I say systems, I know it can sound somewhat like this convoluted thing, like these checklists and all of that, but that's not really what I mean. Systems is how you work in your space. So for example, if you go to the bedroom at night and you like to take a beverage to your night, when you get up to walk to the kitchen to take the dog out, grab that glass, incorporate picking up after yourself as you move through the house. That can be a simple system, putting one load of laundry in a day. That can be a system, even thinking about how you do that. For Mike and I don't mind putting clothes in the laundry, in the washing machine, but I do not like folding and putting away clothes. That's just not what I like, which Mike doesn't mind that part of it. So, you just kind of have to have who loves what. And as a family, communicate and agree that that's how your system is going to work. And that really, really is how you start to maintain a beautiful home. And I want to say to my moms out there, we can get frustrated with our kids because they're not picking up behind themselves and things like that. Or even our husbands, it can get frustrating. And I was reading in my devotional, I'm reading this Proverbs 31 Modern 31 Woman book, and it's really good. I'll put it in the link in the description box below. If you're looking for a very simple devotional that just really is impactful for you as a mom, a wife at home, it just really is good. And I had mentioned this before, but one thing that it was talking about was in one of the devotionals is how we are intentional with being intentional about your response to your family when they're producing clutter in the home or they're not keeping up with systems you put in place. And oftentimes our response is not one that is genuine, and it's oftentimes kind of manipulating, and we'll say things like are you really going to wear those socks that you just threw on the floor? And we're not asking them true questions. We're not solving real problems with it. And so, we really need to communicate with our family from the heart, and that is how we're going to get the change that we require. And it's important that we think about our job as a mother, as a wife, as a home caretaker, homeowner, is that we are there to nurture that environment, our family, the home life, and be a light in that, right? And you're preparing your family and your kids for them to do the same. We are that example. And so if they see us in our home always ripping and running and struggling and stressed and yelling and all of that, then we're teaching them that's how you run a home. That's how the home environment is supposed to be. But we can change that, and we can nurture our home from our heart, and we can take time instead of kind of just fussing about the kids making noise while we're trying to fold the clothes. Grab the kids and show them how to fold the clothes. Create a game from folding the clothes. Think about, this is an opportunity that I can spend with my child. We're getting something done. I'm teaching them a life skill, and I'm not yelling at them. And I'm taking the opportunity to stop trying to push them away from me, bring them in, teach them a life skill so that we can beautify our home. And it really is a better way of thinking about how to work in your home, going back to those systems. So again, I say all this to say, in reading that devotional, it really clicked with me on, even though it's just Mike and I, on how sometimes I respond to him with things, and just making sure that my response is from the heart, and one that is nurturing, one that is going to be kind of, change the desire that I want, right? So I got to make the change within myself in order to have him change, right? If he's throwing keys down on the counter or whatever the case may be. So I just wanted to give you that nugget that, sometimes you have to stop and step back and look at how you're truly addressing the different situations. Because sometimes that's the reason why we feel like we're in that hamster wheel with our families, is because we're creating and nurturing that hamster wheel. So the next reason why we're not motivated in our home is we just think our home is not dirty enough, or it doesn't need the organization. But you know what? There's always room to grow and to do better, right? We're never going to be at that point where we're at, everything is perfect, because there is no perfection, right? But if you look in your home, you want to think about what can I do to make it a space where I can entertain more? Or where can I make it a space where I can relax more? Or what in my home may not be working optimal that I can tweak to work? So even if your home is clean right now and it's organized right now, by having that mindset, it allows you to keep it that way. It allows you to keep growth in your home, right? You're not stagnant in your home. Your home is always just kind of rejuvenating you because it's staying fresh, it's staying upbeat. Even if you have a home that's perfectly clean and organized right now, maybe you want to go in and switch some things around so that when you walk in, you have a fresh perspective in the space. So your home is always feeding you. It's always feeding you change and joy and all those fresh things that really bring us joy. So even though you have a home that you feel like, I got it cleaned and we're good to go, think about the organization component. Think about if there's anything that I can move out of the space to be a blessing to someone else. How can my home be a light? And so I encourage everyone to always think about that in their space, even if you are a step ahead with having it clean. So reason number 9 is you may not have enough time or energy to organize your home. And that may be the case for a lot of folks. And it may be that not even that you don't have the time, may not be able to. You may suffer from some health issues that prevent you from doing a lot in your space. And this can be frustrating, right? This can be frustrating not to physically be able to do what your mind wants to do. And so one thing that I want to encourage you to do is to, again, go back to doing what you can do. Creating systems to do what you can do, however small that is. And so instead of being able to kind of do that load of laundry every day, it may take you a couple days to do that load. You may have to wash it one day and dry it that day, and then you may have to fold it the next day. But create that system that works for you. Also get that help that you need. If you need help in your home, don't be afraid to ask that friend or ask that family member. If you can afford to hire an organizer or someone to come in and clean your home, have that, put in place the things you need to, again, create that haven that really rejuvenates you and one that inspires you. So it's not always that you have to be hands-on with it. Sometimes you have to bring others in to help us accomplish the mission. So it's okay to be vulnerable and tell your friend that, what, right now I am at a point where I physically cannot clean my house. Can you help me? Can you help me for 6 months? Can you help me until I can get something else? So again, it's about us really kind of asking for what we need to make sure that the environment that we live in is one that is still beautiful, clean, and inviting, and not to let it get to where it's so out of control. Because if you need help and you don't get it, things can easily get out of control where your home environment is not only that it doesn't feed your soul, it's not safe. So if your health issues is not the issue, then it really is about creating that time and that consistency to maintaining your home. Making sure that you use that 1 hour a day I talked about after work, or doing one room per day, assigning a room per day that you kind of maintain. Or it's about tackling a project every week. And that's where, again, I want to stress, my beautifully organized 52 card deck is perfect for that. And so just making sure that you create that system, whether it's even 15 minutes at the end of the day, that you just kind of do a clean sweep of your home. And number 10, friends, why you may not be motivated in your home is the fear of change. And so fear is a real thing when it comes to, making that change in your home. And so what I want to encourage you to do is, again, start this process small. If you have things such as you had a parent that just recently passed away and you have some of their things, it may not be the time to deal with that. It may be too overwhelming. It can cause you to lose motivation even thinking about having to look through those things. And I encourage you not to do that if the time is not right. Start somewhere else. Go in the kitchen and go in the linen closet. Go somewhere else where it is doable for you, that is very small. It's something that can give you a quick reward, even if it's as small as your desk, the top of your desk, or just a drawer, anything that you feel like you can do. And then keep that momentum going, because as you do one little space, you're going to be inspired to really keep it going. So I hope you see this over throughout this video. I'm sharing a lot of the tips I'm sharing. The information is the same with how you can kind of kickstart that starting slow. That is the key overall to the organization, is just really to kickstart your motivation, and to get it back is to start slow. And friends, I hope that the tips that I shared with you today could be helpful. I hope that if you're not motivated in your home, that watching this video, you'll sit back and grab you a cup of coffee and just sit in your home, even if it's cluttered, and just imagine what you want it to be. and then start the process slowly, one thing at a time, getting it there. And again, if you need that help, my card deck, Beautifully Organized in 52 Weeks, is that tool that really can help you solve that problem. And if you need more hands-on help, definitely reach out to me. You know, me and my organizers, we would love to help you in your home. We work with you virtually, online, on Zoom, and we're that friend by your side, and we're helping you figure it out. And how the virtual sessions work is that we get on Zoom and we talk about your space. We look at it together. You and I look at it. You and I, or whatever organizer on my team you have, look at the space, and then we come up with a plan. And then we set the goals one step at a time, slowly. We don't just kind of put you out there, and we share with you how to get it done, right? We set the goals and we're there with you. And it really is a way to have that friend by your side getting through it. So if you feel like you need a different perspective, you need someone skilled in the art of organization to help you figure it out, definitely I'll put my link in the description box below to schedule sessions with At Home with Nikki. And again, they're done virtually, so it doesn't matter where you live. So definitely take advantage of that if that's an option for you. And I do want to also mention before I leave is that if you love organization, the art of organizing, and you never thought about doing it as a business, why not? It is such a great side hustle and a great business. Not even if you want, you can do it as a full-fledged business, you can do it as a side hustle, but it's a great career path if you love helping people organize their home. But there is a difference between organizing your own home and organizing for others. And so if you're interested, definitely I would encourage you to take my course, and I'll put it in the link in the description box below. I walk you through setting up your professional organizing business. I walk you through setting up the business, how to be an organizer, how to work with clients, and how to put together your toolkit, how to market your business. So it's an all-inclusive course. And I also have a private Facebook group that goes along with that, where you can ask questions, we chit-chat back and forth. I share additional videos and knowledge with you over there. So if it's something you thought about doing, I highly encourage you to take that course. And again, I'll link it in the description box below. But friends, it was so beautiful being with you today. I hope you guys are doing great. I will see you at the next video. And this is Nikki saying goodbye.